Do you ever worry about when you make really sort of thin, small pieces of resin that they might snap, particularly ones that are going to be used for something like bookmarks? These are particularly narrow ones too. So yeah, it drives me nuts because I don't want my bookmarks to be too thick either. And I wonder if we found a solution here. I've got the clear soft type resin from Let Resin. So I wondered if this would work, because if it's still bendy, then it won't break, will it? That's the thought. Let's have a go. So I'm going to just make some with these beautiful... Sorry, I messed up the box completely. These weren't thrown in like this when it got here. But this is the mica powder set from Let Resin. So I thought we'd just do some really simple, beginner-friendly, shimmery colours. And we'll swirl them and we'll make it all pretty. Now this is also part of my Challenge Tracey series. Because this challenge to find something... Because this challenge to do something with the soft UV resin came from Sherry Hart. Now Sherry will have, I believe Sherry is making some amazing jewellery, so I will put a link to her video right at the end of this one, so that it's nice and easy for you to find it. Now I'm going to mix the resin up in these are just little shot glasses, and then I've got some little tiny plastic spoons somewhere. Put it into the mould, because I want to mix some resin in with it, some colours. So first of all I want some blue. Oh, that's quite a lot. A bit much powder probably. And of course this is ultraviolet curing resin, so we're going to be working in thin layers and hope that I haven't put... Oh, there's going to be a lot of blue in this. So of course this is ultraviolet curing resin, but it is the soft type. The sort that literally cures soft, bendy. Not sticky, just bendy. So I'm going to mix up quite a bit of the blue because I think I want a bit of a... I'm going to do a little bit of a beach theme across these. We're going to be working in layers because I have got quite a bit of colour in there, and so I don't want to inhibit the resin from colouring. I don't want to inhibit the resin from curing, do I now? I'm looking for like a goldy sandy colour. Here we go, that could almost represent sand, couldn't it? Have we got a paler one? Gold pink, that sounds nice. I'm going to mix up another pot. I think we're going to end up mixing a few of these up. Only going to want a small amount in that one. Let's go with gold pink. I think that kind of looks like sand, doesn't it? Gold pink-ish, sort of. Reminiscent of sand, let's say. Let's mix those two up first. And what else should we want with the blue contrast? Oh, white. White's always nice, isn't it? We'll have a white. So we are going seaside theme here again. Might put some little seasidey embellishments on it. We're going to work in 2 layers. I think I'm going to want quite a lot of white. I don't know how many of these I'm actually going to make, and I have managed to spill some of the mica on that one. Typical. So this should be a very sparkly white, and I can get away with putting quite a lot of the white into my UV resin. Because it's white, you'll find that the UV light passes through it really quite well. Isn't that lovely? So of course I'm working in a room with not great lighting. I've got my usual filming lighting, but I've pulled the blinds down because we face south in my craft room, which isn't best when you're trying to stay out of the sunlight. Gold pink is nice, isn't it? A little bit too... Oh no, I was going to say a bit too pink, but I like it. I like it. Let's go with that. So I'm going to try and do, as I said, a bit of a beach theme. So we're going to put what is going to be our pink sand down here. Let's do a couple. We'll see how far our colours go. Got quite a lot of blue, so I might do like more of an actually out into the water type theme with one of them. I don't know, I'm just thinking, which is always dangerous. As you may have realised, Let Resin have actually provided most of the materials for today, so I just want to say a big thank you to them. I'm even using their lamp. That was an accident. I mean, I wasn't planning on this being a Let Resin fest, but they have become, a lot of their stuff has become my go-to lately, so we're just going to cure that off. Don't need to cure it completely, but give it a bit of a zap. By the way, I'm working as this is going to be the top surface, just because that's going to be easier to see what's going on. So I think next I want my blue, and we're going to want quite a lot of this, which is a good job because I've mixed a lot up. But can you see I'm only doing a thin layer in here? This has gone really quite thick because I put way too much mica powder in it, and because of that, if I went too thick with this, it really won't cure. The light isn't going to get through. I put way too much mica powder in this. The mould, by the way, was from Amazon. I will link this for you. Like I said, we are working in layers, so just going gently with my stick because I don't want to scratch the mould. Obviously, once you scratch a silicone mould, that scratch is going to reappear every time you use that mould going forward. So I'm not really touching the silicone and stuff. I'm just trying to skim across the surface really and pull the resin through, and I'm making a bit of a mess. As you can see, this is a really thin coat, and this is really going to put this bendy, sorry, I must stop calling it bendy, but soft cured UV resin to the test. Now I believe Sherry's making jewellery. She's making a playlist for jewellery, by the way. So if anybody who makes jewellery, that's a bit of an ongoing thing. If you want to send her your link, then she can add videos at any time. It's going to be, it's building up a great big long playlist of anything jewellery wise, and there's no sort of start and end time, it's just ongoing. Right, now as you can see, I'm just spattering a little bit of the resin, the blue resin, across in the hope that this helps it to blend a bit. Now this one, I'm just going to do this as if it's a big splat and it's dribbling, and we're going to do it like this. Do you want it fairly solid at the top? I was going to say spots, but I'm just not being organised enough for spots. Splats, dribbles, drips, blobs. There we go. And we might swirl those actually, I'm thinking. Let's swirl them. Oops, drips. Okay, I'm now out of that one. I think I'm going to end up needing a lot more white. So the question is that white enough? Did I put enough mica powder in? Yes, I think I did. So this first one we're going to do, actually we'll probably end up doing the same across them all. I want white to be the foam at the edge of the sea, but of course I'm going to be taking these blobs. Actually, I know what I'll do to avoid scratching. I didn't use my little spoons in the end, did I? This is a fine tip swab. I just buy big packs of these from Amazon. I'll put you a link to my Amazon storefront actually, because I've got a load of the useful things that I use stored in my Amazon storefront. So if ever you see me using something in a video and then you want to come back to it and find it later and you think, crikey, which video was it she used that on, then you'll be able to just go to my Amazon storefront. If it's something I got from Amazon, that is where you'll find it. If it isn't, you can always ask me. So with this one, I'm going to swirly it. So you see, just kind of wispy. Now because I haven't cured it straight off, that is all blending a bit, which is what I kind of wanted, but not with the sand obviously, so that's why we didn't put some clear in amongst this as well. We're just going to let this all dribble and splat all over the place and see what happens. And this one, probably the same, except I'm going to add a bit of a different colour. So we're going to want white again. I've put quite a lot of the white mica in this time, and I'm wondering what other colour. Have I got like a minty? Yes, here we go. No, that's a bit too pale. I was going to go with that, which is green. Oh, hang on. What's that? Spring green. Oh, I think the actual green's going to be a good contrast, isn't it? So let's get our white in first. Let's see what these spoons are like for this sort of thing actually. These are cocktail stirrer spoons. So I'm doing a similar thing here. It's going to have another colour as well. Hey, these work a treat. Oh, I've used them for all sorts of stuff, but I don't think I've ever used them like this. There we go. So with this one, we're going to fill the gaps with clear. Going to make gaps here and there as well. There we are. And you'll notice I haven't done anything with that. I'm just letting it do its thing. Got a few little bubbles. I'll show you what to do to make sure you don't have any more bubbles in a moment. This has got a little bit of white still in it, but I'm going to mix the green in with it. Oh yes, this is the green that's kind of green gold, isn't it? That's going to be pretty. And I'm just going to tip this in, I think. No, actually, I will use the spoon. This is a bit easier, a bit less messy. Ooh, that's going to be pretty. And I think this is as deep a layer as I would dare go with this amount of mica powder in it. So I'm just going to, oops, I've got a bit of green in the other one too now. Darn it. Might as well put a bit more to make it look deliberate in where the gold is. So I'm just going to let that sit for a minute. Now, this is how you get rid of bubbles in UV resin. Now, obviously, this isn't going to cure until we get the ultraviolet light on it, because it's ultraviolet curing resin. So, as long as you go gentle, so you don't scorch your mould, this is probably the easiest way to get the bubbles out. You can spritz with alcohol, but that can damage your mould as well. So, I tend to go with a... Oops! Oh, for God's sake. I tend to go with just the long neck lighter. Right, those are blended a little bit, and I think they're looking rather pretty. So we're going to put the UV light over them. Now this light is it's one of the Z fold out ones, and it's really powerful. Now, because there's a lot of pigment in there in the form of the mica powder, what I'm going to do is put that on for a good 5 minutes and let it cure really well. Then we'll flip it over and we'll do the back as well. Right, so that's had 5 minutes, because it's a bit disconcerting, but it's going to be bendy still, isn't it? Anyway, we're going to do it from the back as well. Again, I'm going to give it 5 minutes, just because there's so much colour in there. Okay, so these should be okay by now. Now, the things I've got to put in, I have to say the surface isn't particularly shiny, but then I have been messing with it, so let's put some sparkly things in it. Oh, I say, is that flat-backed? Yes, it is. These are just little pots of really hard to handle, apparently. Sparkly gems that I got from, I think, probably Amazon or something. I don't know. Just have a look in nail art supplies, because there's so much stuff you can get. There you go. Let's put that there. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's lots of them. Now, what I'm going to do is just, in the bottom of this one, I'm going to sprinkle some bits. There's all sorts in here, so I'm just going to sprinkle some bits, and if there are any that looks like they should be up the other way, we'll turn them over. Some little hoops and things as well. There's a little hoop, literally just shoving a few bits in. Oh, that's nice. Oh, hang on, let's pull that out and do some... Oh, that's nice. Do something interesting with that. Stop saying, oh, that's nice, Tracy. Oh, there's a nice big piece of shell in this one. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? These are some very nice sprinkles. I see it's more of a rose gold, this one. Oh, look, there's even little roses in it. A little grey rose. Let's put that there. There. So there's no particular arty design to this. Just kind of went for it. I might want to mist just a tiniest little bit of glitter over one of them. Should we do that? Well, this is a bit of an uncontrolled way of doing it, but this is one of the Into Resin laser glitters. So what I've done is just blown a bit over the surface, and it's mostly ended up on my finger by the look of it. There we go. Took a little tiny bit of extra sparkle. Right, now I'm going to put another layer of the... Look at me, I'm all glitter now. Another layer over the top, but this time it's just going to be clear. Now, I don't know whether I'm going to need to go over the top of this with some of the regular UV resin. And if that's the case, it will kind of defeat the object of what I'm trying to do in making something that's bendy. It just depends how shiny this cures, really. I am going to let it settle. This time I'll only be popping bubbles just with my little my fine tip swab. I know that when you see this stuff being used for jewellery, they use really, really thin layers. I mean really thin, they paint it on with a brush almost. Which is why this is so much of an experiment. But I'm working on the basis that it's UV resin. It might end up soft, but it's still UV resin, so let's just see if this works. Now, this stone is definitely going to end up sticking out some, isn't it? Because it's just way too big. It's just so pretty, I'd got to use it. Let's hope it'll lie flat though. So that's quite a lot of resin in there now, but they're not right up to the top, so they shouldn't be too thick, I hope, to be bookmarks. So I'm just going to let that settle and self-level somewhat, and then we're going to give it a right darn good cure while I try to find some like tassely bits and things to put in these in the ends of these. Okay, it's sat for a bit. I'm going to get my big lamp on the go again. I'm going to turn it around this way because the lamp is that shape, let's face it. So, and I'm going to try to hold with my tweezers that crystal that wants to keep tipping over, at least for a couple of minutes. Then I'll get my hands out of the way, just until it starts to firm up. And then what I'm going to be doing after this is giving it one last absolute zap cure. That's firming up already. So when I say last zap cure, I mean like a good sort of 5 minutes each side again. Right, steam mould time. Oh gosh, this is weird. It's very bendy, and it's kind of, ooh, it's kind of sticky, which is odd. Oh, it's very strange stuff. When they say soft, they do mean soft. Okay, very odd. What I'm going to do, because I don't want to make it any thicker, and obviously I don't want to coat with the regular UV resin or anything, is coat with some nail varnish, nail polish top coat, because that has a certain amount of flex to it, because it has to go on nails. But they're certainly bendy. This is weird. This is very, very weird. Very strange stuff. I'm understanding now why they use it for the jewellery makes, that they then seal afterwards with the, you know, once it's set in shape with the hard resin. But it has dried, it's cured very shiny. I think maybe I overdid the mica and that's why it's sticky. I don't know. But it's cured. There's no two ways about it. It's cured. Odd stuff. I'll have to compare notes with Sherry. Don't forget, I'll put you the link to Sherry's video at the end of this one too, because you must go and see that. She's becoming a very accomplished resin jewellery maker. Now this is just no wipe top coat, it's the gel polish one. So I'm just going to put a top coat of that on, and we're going to cure it as normal, just to seal in that stickiness. But I don't think it's meant to dry sticky, so that's obviously something stupid I've done. I found my tassels and things to go on it as well, so we can do that in a minute as well. When I say sticky, I don't mean very, very sticky. It's just got a very slight cling to it. That's all. Weird stuff. I need to experiment with this more, don't I? Because I think this has got a lot of potential for things beyond jewellery. I have played with it before and made some like weird twisty things. Come to think of it, I think I got it to not be sticky then. I wonder if I'm just not curing it for long enough. Could be. I'll compare notes with Sherry. So if you want to see how to do things with bendy resin, sorry, soft type resin properly, go have a look at Sherry. Of course, there's also a lot of the I think, are they Chinese resin making channels that do lots of different like jewellery ideas. Those, they seem to use the soft type quite a lot, so you will come across other channels using this. It's been around a little while. It's just that it's something I've really not got particularly into. So let's cure this. As you can see, I've put quite a thick coat on, and then we'll do the same on the back, and then we'll have put the tassels on and have a bit of a verdict as to whether it's actually worked or not. This is an experiment. It could be just that I'm using it way too thick. So we'll see. So there we go. I've just put the tassels on these. Yeah, it's bendy. Look at that. Not weird. And I hadn't got any of the loop through, the big floppy tassels, so I just put these little ones on with a couple of jump rings. It's definitely bendy. I needn't worry about the stickiness because the sides are no longer sticky. Weirdly, I found I could sand any sharp edges off from this mould, which was quite handy. So yeah, what do you think? Bendy indeed. Yeah, it's not going to break, is it? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed me experimenting with this. If you've got any other ideas that we could do with this, other than the obvious jewellery ones that we see demonstrated already, plus whatever Sherry's doing in her video, if you've got any other fancy ideas of what we can do with bendy resin, then let me know in the comments. Right, Sherry's link will be coming up here for her half of the collaboration. Thanks again, Sherry, for challenging me to this one. And I'll see you over in her video. And if you would like to subscribe, folks, there's buttons down here. Just press them. Won't cost you anything either. And I appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed. Bye.